ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी है, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है।
ओम शांति। Om Shanti and welcome everyone to the program today. We have respected Sister Shivani with us. Om Shanti. And welcome everyone to this session today on calm in crisis. Without any further delay, I would like to start with, I don't think we need actually an introduction, but something that I think it is important to mention. Sister Shivani, over the years, has played a central role in making spirituality accessible to the masses. I think this is a significant contribution of making spirituality accessible to all, making it applicable to all in their daily lives. I think we have used all sorts of resources over the years of management, science, and technology, and everything else. But we have been taught very unique, practical, simple applications of spirituality in our daily life. And I think this is a significant contribution that we are making to mankind. Sister Shivani has been sort of the leading light in making that happen around the world. Today, we are speaking on a topic I think that needs no introduction. We are all emerging from a pandemic. We have all seen what it can do to us, the positives and the negatives. But then, how do we ride a wave like this in crisis? How do we, not just this, right? This is not the first, this is not going to be the last. How do we handle ourselves? How do we prepare ourselves and strengthen ourselves for the future? So this is a topic I think that is relevant for all of us, and none better than Sister Shivani to attend to this topic today. Without any further delay, I would request Sister Shivani to take us forward on this talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti. Let's just sit straight. Take 3 deep breaths. Relax the body. We've all taken out time for ourselves. And just take a minute of silence. And gently bring your attention, very gently, to the center of the forehead. It's the energy center. And just ask yourself, how am I feeling today? It's a question we ask others. Spirituality teaches us to ask ourselves, how am I feeling? Second question, how have I been feeling over these past 2 years? How's been my journey? To face every situation that came to me or to my family, to my colleagues, to my organization. It's very important to introspect. How have I been feeling in these last 2 years? And you can specifically pinpoint certain scenes that happened in these 2 years, which were tough, challenge for some, and crisis for some. See how you feel about it today. And also check how you felt about it that day. And let's see the connection. What we're trying to see is the connection between the situation and my feelings. The connection between the situation and my feelings. And ask yourself, is there a connection? Are my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions, even my behavior, is it dependent on the situation? It's a very important equation that we need to check, experiment, and be very sure that we're living with the right equation in life. Because this equation is going to be the first line every time there is a problem. A problem like a problem in the exam. How did we prepare for the exam in school? We just understood and learned all the equations. We didn't know which problem would come in the exam paper. But we only had to be very clear about the equation. If the equation was right, and almost always we would get the correct answer to the problem. And the equation is probably what we write on the first line as the answer sheet, the first thing. It has to start with the equation. But what if my equation is wrong? And I write an incorrect equation on the first line, and then I go on solving that problem. I can take supplement after supplement to solve that problem. But in case my equation on the first line is incorrect, I will never come to the answer. And then I will say the exam was extremely tough, and I might not even pass. Was the exam tough? Was the problem difficult? Or was my equation the right one or not? And that equation is, what is the connection between the situation and my feelings? That's the equation. Because it's an equation which we use right from when we are a kid to the last scene of our life, because that's also going to be an equation. The last scene when I, the soul, leave this body, because that will be my last examination when I leave this body. It's the last exam. What's my state of being, my mind, my feeling when I'm leaving everything and everyone? That's my last exam that I have to give. But on the journey, many, in fact, almost daily. So, equation, connection between the situation and my feeling. We've grown up believing, or we were conditioned to believe as a child, that as is the situation, so is my response. So is my thought and feeling. I remember when we were in school, we used to be asked to write an essay on the happiest day of your life. What was the happiest day of your life? And we obviously reflected on, and we saw which was the day when something very important happened, something very great happened in my life. And so the whole essay would be about when that very great event happened in our life. And we said that was the happiest day of our life. So there itself, there was a conditioning which said, when something great happens in my life, that is equal to the happiest day of my life. And that is where the equation started, that my happiness is dependent on something beautiful, something great happening outside. And we grew up with that conditioning. Our parents, our teachers also conditioned us to believe it that way. And then automatically, when something not great happens, and something which is absolutely not right that happens, then it was natural to say that when something great happens, it's the happiest day of my life. And when something absolutely not correct happens, then it's one of the sad days of my life. That was obvious, right? It was obvious from that equation. And now this was in school, whether we were in school 10 years back, 20 years back, or 40 years back. And we've literally led our entire life based on that one equation. And this equation means emotional dependence, believing that what I'm thinking and feeling is dependent on what is happening in my life. The happening is a situation. The happening could be a person's behavior. The happening could be the health of my body. Even that is a happening, right? It happens to me. There is a disease in my body and I have to think and feel about it. It's a happening. So anything that happens in my life is the stimulus. And to every stimulus, I create a response. And my response is intention, thought, feeling, word, behavior. It's a response. Now imagine the whole day is full of stimulus. It's stimulus. Your morning alarm rings is a stimulus. Even our first response to that morning alarm is different for everybody. And actually, that's where we actually decide how the rest of the day is going to be. So for someone, when the alarm rings, the first thought is good morning to the divine, right? That could be my first response to the alarm, that it's a good morning to the divine. It could be a thank you to the divine. It could be the thank you to my beautiful life. Or my first response could be, oh my God, again so soon, I'd hardly slept. I feel so tired. I don't feel like getting out of bed. That could be one response. Another response could be, oh my God, I'm late, and I literally jump out of bed. I begin the day on a way, I'm late. Now, these are responses to just a daily morning alarm, but it's a response. It's a response. But whatever may be my response, I'm not aware that I am creating the response. I'm saying it's because of the alarm. It's because of the time that I woke up. I'm not taking responsibility that this was my thought. I say this was a thought which automatically came to me when the alarm went on. So, right from a simple morning alarm to the water not there in the tap that day, to my spouse not talking to me that day, being very grumpy or irritated, to me missing the bus or the metro, to something very beautiful happening at work. Situations, not necessarily always unpleasant. Some beautiful situations are going to come during the day. But the question is, the situations are variable. Sometimes they're beautiful, sometimes they're not very nice, and sometimes like they are really. So the situation will be variable, you know. So sometimes people nowadays say life is a roller coaster. Now, life is a roller coaster means up, down, up, down, up, down. So now when we say life is a roller coaster, what does it mean? Does it mean situations are up, down, or does it mean my mind goes up, down, up, down? Where is life? Life is not in the situations. Life is here. This energy is called life. When this life leaves, this is a dead body. This is life. So is life a roller coaster? If life is a roller coaster, which means here it's going roller coaster, then I'm living a life of emotional dependence. In a year where we are saying and where we know that it is our 75 years of independence, a freedom which some very, very powerful souls gave up their life for us to be free today. That was a freedom of a country, freedom of the country. And we're all grateful to them and radiate blessings to them for that. But have I truly been free? I'm free from any kind of exploitation from an outsider. But am I free from the exploitation that I create within my own mind, believing that everything that I think and feel is because of the stimulus in my life? If you had to take a pause right now, just answer this question in the chat. Everyone can answer. Who is the creator of my thoughts and feelings? Situation, me, or both? So you can answer the number. First option, situation is the cause of my thoughts and feelings. Second option, I am the creator of my thoughts and feelings. And third option, both. Both responsible, situation and me. So just enter into the chat. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 2, 2. Everyone needs to answer this. Very important. It's the equation of life.
Are they messaging you?
No, Ji. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Acha, they're messaging. No, you can put it to everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah. Let everyone see. It's good for everyone to see the answers. Okay. So we have most of us saying 2, some saying 1, and some saying 3. So you see, that's where we are as far as the equation of life is concerned. So most of us are saying 2. 2 means I am the creator of my thoughts and feelings. Some of us are saying 1, which means the situation is the cause of my thoughts and feelings. And some of us are saying 3, that both. If there was no situation, I don't need to respond, right? So that there is a situation and then I respond. Okay. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Just close your eyes. And bring on the screen of your mind the last time you got angry, verbally, in your body language, not just in your mind. You reacted. It could be today, it could be yesterday. See the situation very clearly because the scene is going to be very fresh on your mind. Look at the stimulus. What happened? What did they say? What did they do? What was their mistake? Everything. And now, spotlight on the self. How did I respond? Even look at that very clearly. How did I feel? What did I say? How were my words? My tone? The volume of my voice? My body language. Now, hold on to the scene there. Tomorrow morning, the same scene is going to come again. That's certain. It's there in my destiny. Exact. Nothing will change in the scene. Tomorrow, you're going to respond again. Now choose. Do you think there's another way of responding to the same scene? And look at yourself responding to whatever you feel is the best way of responding to that scene. Scene is not going to change. So stimulus remains the same. Do I have another way of responding? And if yes, then look at yourself responding in another option, what you feel is best. Okay. Now just raise your hands, those who feel yes, so that you don't have to type. So many of you don't have to type. Those who feel yes, I could respond another way. Good. Wonderful. Now this is power. And this is freedom. This is azadi. This is emotional freedom. Now ask yourself, go back to those 3 options, 1, 2, 3. If I said 1, which means the situation was the cause of my response, then tomorrow the situation is not changing. The same situation is coming again. If I said situation and person, that is I, are the cause of my response, then again tomorrow situation is not changing. But yet we raised our hands because we saw ourselves responding another way. This is power. This is freedom. Otherwise, I live my life saying, they are the cause of my pain, they are the cause of my anger, they are the cause of my hurt, they are the cause of my happiness, they are the cause of my love. Everything is outside. No power here. No power here. I live my life like a victim, believing that everything that I'm feeling is because of something and someone outside. And so I keep looking at the world, wanting the world to be perfect, so that if the world is perfect, which is my world, if my world is perfect, then I can be happy. But my world is not always perfect. It's definitely not perfect the way I want it to be perfect. So sometimes it's here and sometimes it goes down. And only because I got one equation incorrect, thinking that situations and people are the cause of my feelings, I also went up, down, up, down, up, down, depending on situations and people. One word from someone and I was here. One word from someone and then I go here. And we say we are free, we are independent, this is freedom. Now, though, we are living in an era where we don't even need one word. We need one comment on our social media handles. Or we need one like or one dislike and we go here and there. Now we've reached that era. We don't even need people to be there physically before us for us to feel. So now this is the height of being, the word is not very nice, but actually we are a slave. We are a slave to the situation, to the person's behavior, because we are saying, if you are right, then I'm happy. If you are not, then I'm going to be sad. And I will continue to be sad till you change. Till you change. So we look at people like this, waiting for them to change. We look at people to realize their mistake. We wait for people to apologize, to regret. We just keep waiting for the world. This is not independence. This is emotional dependence. So this year, we need to gift ourselves emotional independence because we don't need to fight with anybody else for this. It's something only here, one shift, one shift. So we're going to change our vocabulary from today. Our vocabulary which says irritating person, because we think they are the ones who create the irritation in my head. We're going to change the vocabulary which says you hurt me, you insulted me, you manipulated me, you control me, you dominate me. All this vocabulary has to go. You are the cause of my anger and you are the cause of my happiness. All this vocabulary needs to go. It does not mean people don't make mistakes, people don't do wrong things. Oh yes, there's a lot of wrong that is happening. But I am not dependent on that for how I feel. That's the freedom. So I can say what you did was incorrect. What you did was not correct at all. Somebody can do something which is absolutely incorrect, unethical. But my hurt was my creation. You can only stand there and do what is wrong. People can financially exploit us, people can physically also hit us, but people cannot enter into our minds and emotionally hurt us. They can't. This is the only place where nobody else can enter. Outside, they can do all the wrong that they can, but they cannot enter here. So I need to have that power. But if I give away this power also to somebody else, it's then which life becomes extremely difficult. And that's why we're in so much pain and sorrow, because we're not happy here. It's not because things are not perfect here. It's because we're not happy here. So one equation for life now today. I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, and behavior. And you know what, Rekhaji, this needs to be taught even to your little angel sitting next to you. Children of this age should learn that equation. They have to learn that equation. But what do? When we see their performance or when we see their academic grades, our faces either go very bright, very happy, or we suddenly sulk, or we don't talk. So we are actually teaching them that when you're not right, I will be sad. When you're right, I will be happy. No, exams are extremely important. Marks are very important for how you will perform, not for my happiness and not for your child's happiness either. We have to teach the child. Your career, your profession, what you do, your exams are very important. But You are not going to go into pain if you didn't do well one day in your exam. And I am, as a parent, definitely not going to go into pain. This is emotional independence, which can be taught to a child right from kindergarten. And then we will never have children getting stressed before exams. We will never have children thinking about not wanting to live just because they did not do well in an exam, or they did not get what they want, or they were rejected by somebody in a relationship. They don't want to live anymore, or they're very depressed, or they're dependent on any substance. All this will go away. All of this will go away if they understand that their feelings are not dependent on what has happened, and they can be very calm and stable and powerful, cross that crisis, come out energized, ready to face the next one. Ready to face the next one. It has to be taught right there in kindergarten. So if every parent learns the equation, they'll be able to teach the right equation to the child, that I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, and behavior. So from today, I'm not going to say, you hurt me. I'm going to say, I created this hurt. Fine. I will get hurt, but I will say, I created this hurt. And then I will say, I will heal myself. I'm not dependent on you to heal me. And I will choose how much time. Whether I want to heal myself in 30 seconds, in 2 minutes, I need 1 hour. It's completely my choice. The power is mine. This is power. The power is mine. But otherwise, I can live in pain for the rest of my life because they did not change. And I said, I will heal myself only when they changed. That's a victim. That's a victim. I was with a family once, and their 3-year-old son was crying. And the mama looked at him and she said, Bas beta, now stop crying. And you know what he very sweetly said? 2 minutes more. And the mother looked at him, you want to cry for 2 minutes more? He said, 2 minutes more. And then he cried. And after 2 minutes, he said, now I'm okay. I said, this is power. At least he's chosen that he wants to cry for 2 minutes more. He's cried for 2 minutes more. And he says, now I'm fine. This is how we need to live our life. It's not that we won't experience pain. It's not that we won't experience hurt. But we need to know we created it. Then we choose how long we're going to live in that pain. And then we come out of it. Power is completely mine. To create the hurt, to heal myself, to forgive the other person, to forget that scene, and to let go. Everything is dependent on me. Earlier, everything was dependent on them. This is freedom. This is freedom. And this is the gift that we need to give ourselves. Then the crisis will only be outside. Otherwise, calm in a crisis. Does this title even make any sense to us? How can we be calm in a crisis? It's so impossible because we are getting stressed even if we're just stuck in the traffic jam. That itself is a crisis for us. So what's the size of a crisis? How do I decide that this situation is just an issue? This is a problem? This is a challenge, or this is a crisis? Who decides the size of the situation? Same situation in a family of 4. The magnitude is different for different people. For somebody it will be कितनी बड़ी बात है, and for somebody it will be छोटी सी बात है. Depends on their emotional strength. Depends on their emotional strength. It's like if you're asked to lift a table, for somebody it will be, oh, this is very easy, I can lift it with one hand, and for somebody it is, I can't even move it. So does that depend on the weight of the table? No, it depends on our physical strength. But we kept saying it's the table's fault, the table is heavy. So today we're going to shift from emotional dependence to becoming emotionally independent. Take a 10-second pause and ask yourself anything on your mind right now where you are believing that what you are feeling is because of someone else. There's no problem with the feeling. Let the feeling be there. We can take our own time to finish and change that feeling. We're only removing the blame that it's because of somebody else, and we're taking the power. I'm creating this feeling. I'm creating the feeling. It's my feeling. I'm the creator. Hold on to the feeling. You don't need to change it now. Just remove the blame and take the personal responsibility. And then we can come back to it later on in the day when we're alone, and then see how we can change the feeling. But as long as we've removed the other person's name from my mind, that they are the cause. That has to go. That has to go. Okay, come back. Now, this is an exercise which we need to do every day, actually. Every day. Need to check in the morning, need to check before going to sleep. Is there anyone I'm holding responsible for how I'm feeling? Is there any situation that I'm holding responsible for how I'm feeling? And change. Very easy to change. But I need to tell myself, if I hold them responsible, then they are more powerful than me. And when the situation becomes more powerful than me, then facing the situation becomes tough. And that's why the song was so beautiful. ये मत कहो खुदा से कि तुम्हारी मुश्किल बड़ी है, मुश्किल को बता दो कि तुम्हारा खुदा बड़ा है. You know, so it all depends. The magnifying lens is here, whether I make the situation this or very tiny. It all depends here. So the first thing that happens when there is a situation in your life, call it a situation. Don't call it a crisis. Because you're going to decide what label you want to put on it, whether you want to call it a choti si baat, a badi baat, a bahut badi baat, ya bahut badi baat. What do you want to call that situation? That label itself decides how you're going to feel. Because when I label the situation as crisis, and I go here and the situation overpowers me. So the first thought when a situation comes into your life, the first thought is very important because the first thought puts a label on the situation. Puts a label on the situation. So be very careful with the label that you put. There's no crisis, there's no challenge. It's just a scene of my life. It's just a scene of my life. The minute you call it a scene, you are above the scene. And the minute you call it a crisis, the crisis is above you. So in the first thought itself, we decide who's over who. Very important. So change the magnifying glass here. Change the magnifying glass. Last 2 years, most of us all over the world have been saying, COVID, epidemic, fear and anxiety is normal. Why would fear and anxiety be normal? Because there's an epidemic. If there is a situation of that magnitude, which is global, and it's a health issue, then when there is a situation, it requires calm, it requires stability, it requires power to face that situation. But we just spread it all over. Fear and anxiety is normal, fear and anxiety is normal. And the human mind could have handled fear and anxiety for a few days, for a few months. But when it went on for over a year, almost 2 years now, it did not remain as fear and anxiety. It became anxiety disorders for many. It became panic attacks for many. It became depression for many. Yesterday, the budget, the government has allocated a huge amount for mental health. For mental health. Why? Why in a country like Bharat is a question. A country which is so rich in its culture of spiritual principles, the sattvic high vibrational lifestyle, yoga, pranayam, community living, seva bhav. We're never alone. We always have people around us. A country which is so rich is now saying that we are high on mental health issues and depression. So this year is a year to celebrate, but it's also a year to create these changes. We are a country who can share the tools and the power of taking care of our mind with the rest of the world. Like we have shared yoga with the world, we also have the power to share this with the world, how mental health issues can be completely finished, how emotional health can be very stable. But to share it with the world, we have to practice it ourselves first. Then we become ambassadors of good emotional health. Not just yoga for physical health, but yoga for emotional health. So there are 3 healths. Physical health, we have doctors. Mental health also, if there's an issue, we have a doctor and we should immediately see a doctor because then we come out of it very, very soon. Never prolong seeing a doctor if you're going through something. Come out of it very soon. I once met a psychiatrist on a panel, and what I liked, very beautiful how he put it. And he said, depression is a fracture of the mind. Now decide when you want to go to a doctor. So if you have a fracture, when do you go to a doctor? You go immediately. But here we just prolong 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, we don't see somebody. Why we don't see someone when we are feeling low? Because we thought feeling low was normal. So we're not able to differentiate. We're not able to differentiate that this is a low feeling or this is a clinical depression. We are not able to differentiate. Family is also not able to understand that this is a depression. They keep saying, na, ye to mood hai, theek ho jayega. Because we start thinking that mood is normal, that low feeling. So of course we need awareness that when it is not just a mood, it is a clinical depression or an anxiety attack, and we need to see a therapist. That's one part that everybody needs to take care. But a very, very important part is, let's start taking care of our emotional health. Emotional health is a prevention of a mental health issue. So, it's a stage before a mental health issue. So if we take care of our emotional health, our health, family's health, colleagues, teams, everybody, if we take care of our emotional health, then we will not be going towards a mental health issue. So emotional health is my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So the first thing that I need to do to take care of my emotional health, that equation right. I am the creator of my thoughts and feelings. So throughout the day, when I respond to every scene with that power, even if I respond wrong, even if I react, no problem. But I have the power that this was my response. I conserve energy. Look at this like a battery here. I conserve energy. But if I keep saying they are the cause of everything in my life, I give away my energy. I just give away my energy throughout the day. And this battery goes like this, it's depleted. And then there is a situation in life and I don't have the power to face it. And then it doesn't remain an emotional health issue. It tips off to something more than that. So let's start taking care of our emotional health. We might never have to go take care of our mental health. It'll never happen. So that's why it's important. Stress is given by a simple formula in physics: pressure divided by resilience. Pressure are our challenges. So those are there. There are pressures. For a little angel sitting with you, her exam is a pressure, for which we will say, "Arey, what is there to worry about it?" But for that little child, that exam is a big, big, big pressure. So that is a pressure. So pressures, exam pressure, work pressure, travel pressure. Some people say parenting pressure. Sometimes COVID is a pressure. My health issue can be a pressure. Any pressures, but they are pressures. They are not stress. But it's pressure divided by resilience, which is stress. So resilience is my inner power. My inner power. Pressures not in our control. Not in our control. So numerator not in my control. Denominator completely in my control. Pressures in the coming time, if we think about it, are they going to reduce? Unlikely. It's only going to increase. So the only choice we have, increase the denominator multifold, the resilience. So the stress factors will start dipping, and finishing off. And then calm and stability can be called normal, not stress normal, happiness normal, calm and stability normal. So we need to remember that equation. Third, the normal emotions are very important. Which emotions are normal? So what is emotional health and what is emotional disease? For the last couple of decades, we've been calling uncomfortable emotions as normal. So please make two lists with you like this list and this list. What is a disease? Dis-ease is a disease. So right now I'm very calm and stable, and here there is a stimulus, and then I start creating thoughts. Why did they do this? How could they do this? And as I start creating these so-called negative or waste thoughts, my mind shifts from ease to dis-ease. Dis-ease is a disease. It's a disease. And that's when I say I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm hurt, I'm angry, whatever. That's a dis-ease. So stress, anger, and the whole list is not normal. That's another gift we need to give ourselves. Do not call uncomfortable emotions as normal. They're not normal. Because if we call them normal, we keep creating them. We keep creating them because we say this is normal. So the definition of normal is very important. So two columns: stress, emotional disease; calm and stability, emotional health; anger, irritation, emotional disease; respect, dignity, empathy. Be strict with someone if you need to. but you don't need to be aggressive, don't need to be abusive, don't need to lose control over yourself. You can be very strict with a lot of dignity. So respect, dignity, discipline, discipline, empathy. Empathy. We can see the difference. We know the difference between these two, how they look. So complaining. Sometimes we have an attitude of just complaining about this is not right, that is not right, that is not right. And then we send quotes to each other. Gratitude is a very beautiful attitude. Am I using it throughout the day? So those who practice gratitude, it doesn't mean everything is perfect in their lives. No, it doesn't. It just means they've created an attitude of gratitude. Similarly, some of us have created an attitude of complaining. It doesn't mean everything is wrong in our life. It just means it's an attitude. So shift. These are very gentle shifts that we will be taking. So complaining depletes my emotional health. So keep this battery here and keep checking which emotion will deplete the battery and which emotion will charge the battery. So complaining depletes my battery. Gratitude energizes my battery. Criticism depletes my battery. Talking ill about people, discussing their problems, their weaknesses, it's a depleter. Appreciation, motivation energizes my battery. Comparison and competition, depleter. Jealousy, depleter. Self-respect. Self-respect. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, I'm working on it. I'm not dependent on other people to tell me. I can take feedback, but I don't need public approval to feel good. You know, we stand like this, say I'm a good person. And if you say I'm not good, then I'm not good. So comparison was there even earlier, but it was at this level with my siblings, with my neighbors, or with my friends. But with social media, our comparison has gone to another level altogether because we're comparing ourselves with strangers. And two things have come with social media. One is comparison, and the other is dependent on other people for approval. Like me. It's like that. Please like me. Please say I'm good. This makes me like this. And this is weakness. This is a very big weakness, needing people's endorsement to feel good about who I am or what I'm doing or what I'm writing on my social media. I need people's approval. Social media was for sharing with the world what you believe and what you like, not for standing like this after the sharing and saying, do this. When it comes to there, that's when I shift from self-respect to dependent on public approval for feeling good. That is emotional dependence. It's an energy depleter. Expectations, wanting people to be my way, energy depleter. Accepting people the way they are, advising them, motivating them, helping them to change, but not expecting and creating pain, then that is emotional health. So there's a long list. There's a long list. And as we start looking at our emotions, we'll be able to see the difference. This emotion creates discomfort, and this feeling creates very calm stability and happiness. Now, most important is today we have to know that this is not normal. This is emotional disease. So from today, we are not going to call stress, worry, fear, irritation, anger, jealousy, comparison, competition, that whole list. We are not going to call it normal. That's a gift we have to give ourselves. And we're going to tell our children, this is not normal. This one is normal. We're calling this normal, and then we're saying, I want happiness. I want love. I want respect. I want power. So it's like saying, I want health and disease is normal. So no. So the definition of normal will be very clear from today. Very clear. Once we're clear with the definition of normal, half the work is done. Half the work is done throughout the day, because then you will automatically start using the normal emotion in your responses to situation. You won't use anger. You won't, because you will know this is not good for my mind, this is not good for my body, this is not good for my relationships. If something happens, you will be quick to forgive. You will be quick to apologize. Very easy to say sorry. Very easy to release and let go, provided I know it's the normal one. It's the normal one. But we've grown up people saying, I can never forgive them. I can never forget this. So we also learnt up that line. And so we also say, I can also never forgive. I can also never forget. And in case I think of forgiving, then somebody else tells me, how can you forgive them? Do you know what they did? If you forgive them, they will take you for granted. So I dropped the idea of forgiving them. So it's very important to know this is emotional health. This is a depleter. Doesn't matter what the world says. I need to check what is comfortable here. I need to check what is comfortable here. Holding on to the past, not releasing what has happened, is an energy depleter, not just for the mind, but also for the body. Energy blockages here manifest into energy blockages in the body. And those energy blockages are what we call a disease, and then we go for our surgeries or for all those other things. And then after what happens also in the hospital, and the doctor says, okay, now you're fine, go back, but take care that it doesn't happen again. But why should it happen again? Why should I have a blockage again in my body? Why should I have a blockage again in my heart? They say, take care, otherwise we'll meet after 4 or 5 years. But why? Why should we meet again now? Because their science only gives them the power to remove the blockage from the physical body. They cannot remove the blockage from here. And if I don't remove it, then they are right that I might meet them again after a couple of years. Because after a couple of years, this will again manifest into a blockage in my body. Again, it will manifest. So forgiveness is normal. Let today sit with yourself. Release whatever we are holding about other people. It may be the worst we could imagine what they have done. They've done it, it's over. Why am I holding on to it and causing pain to myself? Actually, we don't forgive people. We forgive ourselves by releasing that. Because it's my mind which is getting affected. It's my body which is getting diseased. It is my energy which is getting pulled down, not theirs. If holding on to it was going to punish them, then we can hold on to it. It doesn't punish anybody else. It only punishes me. It only punishes me. It causes lot of pain, lot of trauma. There are a lot of doctors now who work with patients who have chronic ailments like cancer and all. A lot of chronic ailments, not necessarily cancer, but chronic ailments. And many times when they talk to them, invariably, in most cases, it turns out to be that in the last 2-3 years, there was some tough scene in their life. There was. And it was not just a situation, but there was a long scene in their life in which they have created pain in their mind and not released it. And after a few years, that is manifesting into some kind of an ailment in the body. So important, not just for our emotional and mental health, but also for our physical health to release. So, second gift to yourself today, release. Let them go. Don't let them stay. Even if you find it very difficult, just say every night before going to sleep, I release, I forgive, I let go. Just say it. Even if you don't feel like, just say it, just say it. Nothing will happen in the first few days. Just say it every day. Past is past. It's over. I release, I forgive, I let go. Let's just say it every day. Say it without believing it. Say it without feeling it. Doesn't matter. Just say it. Just say it. And then surprise yourself that after 10-15 days, you will say, oh, it's not hurting anymore. Where did it go away? We were just holding on to it. It's an instruction to our mind. Our mind is very obedient. We only need to instruct it. But you know what? The day that happened, we instructed our mind, I'm never going to forget what they said today. So the mind says, okay, I'm never going to forget what they said today. We don't remember what we had for breakfast this morning. You'll have to think, what did I have for breakfast this morning? How is it that the mind doesn't remember? Because after breakfast, you did not tell your mind, I'm not going to forget what I had for breakfast today. Say it tomorrow and you'll never forget what you had for breakfast tomorrow, Monday morning. It's all an instruction. You need to remember the mind is my mind. It's my mind. It obeys my every instruction. I only need to be careful what instruction I give. Give it the right instruction. Your mind is your best friend. Give it the right instruction. So every night before going to sleep for the next few days, past is past. It's over. Full stop. I release. I let go. I forgive, I forget. Just keep saying it, repetition. Don't feel like saying it, write it out. Write it out. All that we are doing is we are coding the mind. This is programming. We need to keep changing the programming of the mind. It was programmed in a certain way that day. Now we're going to change the coding. So we need to release all that we're holding on to. Sometimes we're holding on to things that happened when we were kids and we're still holding on to. It's still there as a baggage there on the mind. It depletes emotional health. It actually does not give me the strength I need to face a situation that's going to come today because I've been carrying that unnecessary baggage. It's a pain. And I didn't even realize that it was depleting my energy. So check and release and delete, and it shall happen. Now, simple lifestyle changes. Very, very simple lifestyle changes. One is the content we consume. For our emotional health, our emotional diet is very important. Like for a physical health, the doctor is going to first ask you, what's your diet? What do you eat daily? Sometimes just simple diet changes and the body starts responding well. Similar for the mind, we just need simple diet changes. So what is my emotional diet? Emotional diet means what I watch, what I read, what I listen, what goes in, what goes in. What I watch, what I read, what I listen is who I become. Very, very important equation for life. For everyone, especially for children, youth, what I watch, what I read, what I listen is who I become. Content is equal to personality, is equal to destiny. Content is equal to personality, is equal to destiny. Now, content creation is someone's business, right? It's business of people, content creation. But it's changing my destiny. It's changing my destiny. I need to be very careful what I'm consuming. So what I watch, read, listen, I become. So if I am consuming content which has ego, which has lust, which has aggression, violence, pain, sorrow, fear, and that whole list, jealousy, comparison, if I'm consuming content of that from world news, from digital platforms, from movies, from TV serials, from social media handles, if I'm consuming that quality content, then nothing can stop me from becoming that. Nothing can stop me from becoming that because I'm consuming that content. So what happened to all of us, those who are here on this platform, Bhanu Bhai is here, who met you in the beginning, other sisters and brothers here. One day we went to the Brahma Kumari's meditation center. Someone took us there, or we just walked in there. And the sister at the center just told us, just come to the center for an hour for a few days in the morning. Okay, that's all that we did. That's all that we did. Just we went to the center. And every morning we would listen to content. That was also content. It's content which had purity, which had faith, which had compassion, forgiveness, acceptance, gratitude. That's also content. It's content. So spirituality is content. A very different quality of content. And we just started consuming it and we say, it's good, good, good. But we were just consuming the content. It is only months later that when there was a situation in my life and I responded differently, and I said, how is it that I did not feel bad today? How is it that I did not get angry today? I didn't even realize, none of us realized that actually that change was happening only because of that 45 minutes or that 1 hour of content that we were consuming every morning. That's the power of content. We didn't even realize. Similarly, we don't even realize why we are creating this aggression, why we are overthinking, why we are feeling hurt, why we're not able. We do not get the connection right. The connection is it's the content that I'm consuming. It's the content that I'm consuming. When we started this program, Awakening with Brahma Kumari, it was long, about 14 years back. It was just a program, 25 minutes on television in an era. There was no social media that time. And after 2-3 years, when I was going to the centers or meeting for public programs, I was meeting people who were saying, oh, we were contemplating divorce, we came out of it. I said, really? And somebody would say, I was in depression Now I'm almost over with my medicine, I'm out of it. It was a surprise. We were not doing anything of this kind. We were just sharing those 25 minutes, what we had learned at the center. We were sharing. And it's after long time, it took me to understand this is the power of media, that just 25 minutes of content consumption, people are able to solve so many things of their life. I actually believed it's not possible. Because for me, I believed you need to come to the center, you need to learn meditation, you need to come daily. Without that, how can you create a change? And here I was meeting thousands and thousands of people say, I changed this, I changed this, I changed this. Doing what? Only 25 minutes of media on a daily basis. That's where I understood the equation. But then that's where it became even more risky. That if 25 minutes of spiritual content can bring you out of issues, then what about hours and hours of content that we're consuming whole day? Can it not take me into issues? Can it not create problems in my mind? So content, please remember, it's someone's business. It's becoming my health, my emotional health, my mental health, my physical health, my destiny, my relationships. Everything is based on the content I consume. Be very, very strict. Be very, very strict. Restrict what you are going to consume. All this binge watching, 10 episodes in a day, then telling each other, Arey, I watched that, have you watched that? That's also become a status symbol. That's also comparison. Oh, you haven't seen it. How old fashioned. You've not. All this thing is really what is affecting here. So 30 years back when we were in school, all this content was not there because all this technology was not there. And so I'm sure all of us who were there in school 30, 40 years back, we know we did not know the word depression. Cancer was like one of those rarest things. Oh, they have cancer. It was like a big thing. Nowadays, it's like, oh, they have cancer. Acha, that's it. Because it's become so common. Divorce, it was like people would hide. They would never tell anybody they were going through a divorce. And now it's like, I'm moving away, we're moving. Acha, okay. It's become so normal. It's become so normal. So everything which was rarest of rare 30 years back is becoming normal. Only one thing changed: technology and content which came into our life. So we are the generations who saw the first TV episode, the first landline, the first phone, the first laptop, everything first. But if you draw a graph of that, content versus emotional and mental health of society, it's a direct connection. It's a direct connection. Now, what's going to happen with children who are with phones and gadgets throughout the day with them? There's nothing, whether it's an adult movie or there's nothing. They have access to all content. Who is going to protect them? Only a parent who first restricts their content consumption. You cannot not do it yourself and then tell your children, don't watch this, don't do this, don't do this. It doesn't work. They will not get influenced by what you are saying. You won't have the power. You won't have the power to be able to discipline them. So content restriction is extremely important. And along with that, integrate healthy emotional diet on a daily basis. Healthy emotional diet on a daily basis. That is spiritual content. That is spiritual content. So when we come to the Brahma Kumari's Meditation Center, we get two things. One is knowledge, that is Gyan. And second is meditation, which is yoga, which means exercise. So consume the content and then work on it, connect to the divine, create the power to be able to implement that content. So those are the two things that we learn when we come to the Raj Yoga Meditation Center. One is healthy content and second is meditation. And when we integrate this healthy content and meditation into our life, emotional health starts becoming exactly how we want it to be. How we want it to be. We will create only those emotions most of the time, which we know are right. Some of the times we still go to the other old list of what we thought was normal. But even when we react that way, we come out of it very quickly because we know, no, this one was not right and this is my creation and I can change it. So it just takes a few seconds or a minute to come out of it. So we slip and we get up and we start walking again. So that's a very beautiful journey. A very beautiful journey where you start seeing so much of change in yourself. And when you create that change in yourself, your family benefits. One person from every home needs to experiment with that change. When one person in a family experiments with that change, ripple effect, ripple effect. Family starts changing, children start transforming, colleagues start getting influenced. It's a ripple effect. So the slogan that I heard at the Brahma Kumaris the first time when I went there, when I change, my world changes. It was written there at the center like that. When I change, my world changes. So it's so much power in this that if one person changes, there's so many people that are going to change in connection with that. So instead of struggling to try to change people, instead of struggling to try to change your children, just focus on this self change and you will see the others change because they will get influenced by your divine, pure, powerful vibrations. It will give them the strength to change. When we ask our children to change habits, even a simple habit like sometimes we share with people, don't have screens while you're having your meals. At home, make it a culture. No phones, no TV while you're having your meals. Now, how simple is it, right? Isn't it such a simple thing? 15, 20 minutes to have a meal. Just make it a culture at home, a sanskar that in our house we don't have phones and TVs while we eat. Just a simple thing. Even for that, so many people just say immediately, no, I can do it, but my children won't agree. Even for something as simple as this. Why are children not agreeing? Why are children not listening to what the parents are saying? Because the parent has to first create the power to be able to influence the child, not advise only with words. So the change has to begin with the self, with the self. If we keep only telling them, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it's a very important part of parenting. Parenting. Up to our era, when we were in school and college, parenting meant good physical health, good education, good extracurricular activities, and that's perfect parenting. Now, what is needed along with that is good emotional mental health of a child. Good emotional mental health of a child. When we were in school, only the children who would not pass would get stressed. Today, the child who's coming first gets stressed. They come first, they're toppers always, they've never come second, but they experience anxiety. So, how do you call that success? And then they cross the toughest entrance exams and go into the best institutes of the country. And then you hear, okay, they did this to themselves. Is this success? Is this the result of all the hard work that they put in all their life and their parents put in for them? Only because it's an era, it's the beginning of that era where we have to take care of the emotional and mental health of children, which we were not aware as parents that we have to do. We did not know. We know so many parents who don't come to know that their child is depressed. They don't come to know. They can't see that in the child. They can't make out. And if they see it, they don't know what to do. So it's a priority now. It's a priority. But the first step for that is let's do it ourselves. Let's do it ourselves. Let's change the vibration of the house. So one is let's change the energy of the house by restricting content consumption. What kind of movies, what kind of series are we watching in the house? Even those words are going into the vibrational energy of the house. It's being consumed by your children, even if they're not watching it. So what's the energy radiating into the house? Second, am I having any divine energy getting created in the house every day? Because that will also strengthen the children. That will also strengthen the rest of the family. So spiritual content every night before going to sleep and every morning. These two timings are very crucial, just before we go to sleep and just when we wake up. The time, because that's the time that whatever we consume goes deep inside, deep into the subconscious. So at least 15 to 20 minutes before we go to sleep, we should consume a healthy emotional diet, which means watch, read, listen, pure, divine, spiritual content. 15 to 20 minutes. And when you do it, if you can have your children around you, even if they don't understand it, even if they're kids, let's let them be there. Just let them be there while those high energy words you are either reading or watching or listening, just let them be there. And you'll be surprised how much it strengthens them even without they knowing it, even without they understanding it, because they are high vibrational words. They are high vibrational words. They strengthen your child. So before we go to sleep, and then in the first hour of the morning, Again, a healthy emotional diet. Second is meditation, but we need to learn meditation. Sometimes we look at a picture of meditation on the screen and we say, okay, we just have to close our eyes and sit like this and not think. And then we try to do it and then we're not able to do it. And then we say, I cannot meditate, I tried. So meditation is not closing our eyes and stopping thinking. Meditation is understanding who I am, emerging my original quality of divinity, purity, power, love, connecting to the divine power, the supreme power, who is the ocean of all these powers. We all remember God. We all pray to God. Everyone does it in their own way. But one is praying to God, the other is remembering God, and the third is connecting to God. Connecting to God. Now, connecting means connecting so that the energy of the powerhouse comes into this battery. That's connecting. I could be in pain and praying to God. I could be in pain and remembering God. God, why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? What will I do? My life is so difficult. Please give me strength. That is also praying. It's with a lot of love we talk to God, but we are in pain. So just saying it in internally God. What is God? God is the source of power, source of knowledge, source of love. We just need to connect. That is meditation. So we need to learn meditation. Learn meditation. Don't think it's so simple. It's very simple, but not just close your eyes and sit like that. I need someone to teach it to me. So wherever you're staying, whichever part of Bangalore or maybe up any other part of the city or the country, wherever you stay, within 3 to 4 kilometers of where you're staying, there's a Rajyog Meditation Center, the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center. At every center, there are sisters and brothers who are there throughout the day. They stay at the center only because they're going to teach us meditation. Just for 5-6 days, go to the center for an hour on the day at the time that suits you. You just have to go to the center, fix your time or call them up, fix your time, request for a time which suits you, and the sisters will accommodate. And it doesn't cost, there's no cost attached to it. All that is needed is 5 days, 1 hour of my time at a time which suits me. How can anything be more easier than this? Nothing can be more easier than this. All that we need to do is 5 days, 1 hour every day. That's it. So wherever you stay, find out your nearest center. We have a website, www.brahmakumaris.com, and it has the centers of all the entire country and even the world. All the centers with the numbers, all the addresses. So just go there, look at your area, and you will find the nearest center with a number. So you can call them and fix your day and time and learn the meditation. Once you learn the meditation, then you're going to practice it in the morning and also practice it for a few minutes in the night before you go to sleep. Strength. So one is content, diet, meditation, exercise, it's strength. It's strength. Once I strengthen my mind in the morning and in the night just before going to sleep, during the day, responding right to every situation through this normal emotion list starts coming very natural, easily. It's like when I strengthen myself, I can lift that table, which last month was very heavy for me. But now it becomes easier to lift that table because I strengthened myself. The weight of the table does not change. The weight of the table does not change. Situations don't change. We become stronger. We become stronger, and then they don't look like a crisis to us. They don't look like a crisis to us. I'll tell you, a couple of months back, there's a sister who comes to the center. She must be about, I think, 60, 65, very fragile old lady. And she was diagnosed with cancer. She went through her chemotherapy. Aram se, she said it's okay. And she went through it very. And while she was about to finish, then she came to know that her daughter was diagnosed with cancer. And her daughter was in Mumbai. She went to Mumbai. They did treatment for her. And then there was a liver issue. Then there was a liver transplant that took place. But something didn't go right in the liver transplant. And then the doctor told them that, sorry, there's nothing more that can be done for her. And this mother, old mother, 60, 65, very fragile, just come out of cancer, and suddenly hears the news that, there's nothing more that can be done. And she got the entire family together and she said, now we need to meditate for her to leave. And everybody looked at her and said, like, what? She said, look at her, how much she's suffering in this body. It is our attachment which is holding on to her like this. We have to let her go. She is in pain in this body. The doctor said they can do nothing for her. Now we need to meditate for her to go and take the next costume. Her husband, her son, the daughter's husband, everybody was like, we can't do all this. We want her to stay. She said, okay, all of you all go out. You go out. Let me sit alone with her now. She sat with her. She spoke to her daughter. She said everything that she had to say. She held her hand. She meditated and she said, you don't worry about your family. And you don't worry about your son. We will all look after him. You don't worry. We are here. We will look after your son. Your new costume is ready. You go, don't worry about anybody. She just spoke to her for a few minutes like that. Within a few minutes, the soul was relieved, understood that everything would be taken care of, and the soul left. The soul left. And when this lady came back to the center and she said, I don't even know how I did all this. She said, how did I do this? She said, I don't even know that I have the strength to do something like this. And she said, I come daily to class, but I was not even understand everything. I don't even remember all the points I try to write. I did not know, she said, that I had so much strength to do this. Her husband, her brother, her son, everybody, they came to the center. They used to not come earlier, and they came and they said, she is the reason we are all in control and fine. She, this one old lady of our house, she is the reason that we are all okay. This is power. This is power, which we don't even come to know. It is just because we are building that strength gently, gently, gently on a daily basis. What bigger crisis can be there for a mother? What bigger crisis can be there for a mother? But even in that time, to be selfless, to not hold on to the daughter and say, no, you can't go. How will I live without you? That is attachment. But love is, you go. You should be happy. You should have a healthy body. Selfless. That's what it makes us. Selfless. That's what it makes us. We're able to radiate unconditional love, not just thinking about what will happen to me, but thinking about what is good for you. For you. Fly to your new costume. This is the power. But how do we get that power? Just that daily little study. Just that daily little study and that connection. And that situation. It's not that she doesn't miss her daughter. There won't be a single day when she won't remember her daughter. But she will remember her with love and power, not with pain. That is the shift. That is the shift. So when we remember them with love and power, we radiate power to them where they are. But if we remember them with pain, if we keep on saying, how can we live without you? Then we radiate pain to them. So even in the toughest scene of our life, and that toughest scene is when someone has left or is leaving, that is the toughest scene in anybody's life. Even that becomes very, very dignified in the sense you let the soul leave with so much love and compassion, not with pain and attachment holding them and pulling them down. That's the toughest scene of our life, but that's where we get that power, because we understand every day, soul on a journey, and what's my responsibility. So if we can remain stable in that scene, then to remain stable in the other scenes of our day-to-day activities, it's very normal. It's very normal. And what do we do to gain that power? Just at least an hour daily of strengthening. An hour daily of strengthening. It's like physical health. Strengthen yourself, you'll cross the biggest issues. But if you don't take care of your immunity, a little weather changes and we are sneezing and coughing and we'll say, kya kare? Mausam badal gaya. So, mausam badal gaya, so what happens? Mausam badal gaya, but I don't say my immunity is low. There also I go and blame the weather. I don't say my immunity is low, the weather is not good. और वो आया था ना, उसको सर्दी थी, मुझको भी हो गई. So blame the person. immunity, my immunity of the body, my immunity of the soul. So just take out this 1 hour, take this time, learn that meditation, start practicing it at home, have those spiritual words radiating into in your house. It will influence everybody in the family, and you will start seeing a shift. Start seeing a shift. And it doesn't take years for this. It doesn't take years to see a shift. You will start seeing a shift within a month. Within a month, it's strengthening like this. Within a month, you will see your way of responding to situations has changed. You are now quite easy, even when things have gone wrong. Not careless, very proactive, but not panicking. Not panicking. So the need of the hour, while the government is going to invest a lot of amount in the mental health studies and mental health issues, it's our also responsibility to take care of our minds so that we bring down our figures of mental health issues. How much ever they invest, if the numbers go on increasing, no amount of money will be enough. And what will the money do? The money will only create awareness. The money will only do treatment. Healing, I will still have to do for myself. Because healing means changing my thoughts, not just only medicine. I need to also work on my thoughts. So it's our responsibility. Let's not think, oh, this doesn't happen to me or doesn't happen in my family. It can happen to anybody, any day, and it doesn't require a reason. It doesn't require a reason. I don't know where my battery is. Is it at 4, 3, 2, 1? I don't know where it is. So let's start energizing ourselves. Let's gift ourselves the tools and the power of meditation and spiritual principles. So let's sit back right now. Relax your body again. Bhanubai, by any chance announcing an online meditation course? Want to announce?
We are offering meditation courses online. So
Online?
yes, so you could reach out to that. All of you have a phone number. They must have either contacted you during the registration or after the registration. You must have received an email. If you can send back any interest in having a 7-day meditation course that Sister Shivani just mentioned, we are conducting courses online, and also some of our centers are open for physical one-on-one sessions as well.
What we could also do is we could send details of the course to everyone.
Yes.
So we could organize one soon in the coming week, and we can send that time and detail to everyone.
Yes, we can do.
So everybody will join. So even those who've not joined today but can join for the actual meditation course, right? So we share it with everyone. Okay, sit back, relax the body, and again bring the attention to the center of the forehead. The place where we apply the tilak, the bindi, that's the energy center. And gently visualize a tiny point of light there, very gently. A little star. The energy. The creator, I, the energy. The creator of every thought, feeling, I am this energy. Keep seeing yourself, that star in the center of the forehead. I am the master of this body. I am the master of these sense organs. I decide what to see, what to eat, what to hear. I am the master. I am a powerful being. power to choose the right response always. I am a powerful being. Power to release everything I've held on to. It's just one thought for me. I am the power. Just above your head, visualize the divine power, the supreme power. Another point of light, the ocean of powers and purity. Just like the sun above me, the ocean of power just above me. Just like the sun's rays enter into my body. Now see God's power reaching me, the soul, in the center of the forehead. It's like a laser beam. Supreme power, radiating love, purity and power to me. Just hold on to this visual. I am energized with God's power. And see this energy flowing through your entire body, healing the body. God's love and power flowing through my body. Light energy. I am a powerful being. Calm and stable, always, always. It's natural for me. It's my personality. It's who I am. Power. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sister Shivani. I would request Saroja Didi to share a few words with all of us and her blessings.
Can I just read this message? Rajyog Shivar arranged from, you'll read that, Bhanubhai, for everybody,
Yes,
please?
yes.
Yeah.
So the Rajyog Shivar is arranged from tomorrow, Monday, 7th February to 13th February, between 8 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. evening. So those who have been messaging me with their email IDs and phone numbers, here is a Zoom ID and the password, which you can note down right away. And you should be able to join this Rajyog Shivar where the course is given. Which Sister Shivani was talking about, this divine content, this emotional content. I think this will be a big addition. Please also note down the phone number that is coming along. So you have 8 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. from 7th February, that is tomorrow, till 13th February. It is on Zoom, and you have a Zoom ID and the passcode and also a contact number. So please note this down. Thank you very much. Om Shanti, and over to Saroja Devi.
ओम शांति दीदी।
Om Shanti Didi.
आपका बहुत अमूल्य समय हमने ले लिया। आप तो आज अप्रोच से हमारे साथ मिलन मनाया। हम सब कुमार पारक के जितने भी कनेक्शन के सब भाई बहने, आप प्रत्यक्ष यहाँ पर आ जाइए, ऐसे हम सब इंतजार में हैं। इसी साल में आप समय देंगे तो हम बहुत अच्छा एक प्रोग्राम करना चाहते हैं। तो आपका अनुमति हो तो आपसे बातचीत करके हम आपका और समय लेकर के सारे विश्व के सर्व आत्माओं को लाभ तो हो ही रहा है, लेकिन आप इस धरती पर आकर के और भी जो बाबा का दी हुई ज्ञानों की प्रेरणा और सर्व आत्माओं में जो शक्ति नहीं है, आप प्रेरणा देते हुए उन आत्माओं को भी ऐसे उमंग उत्साह शक्ति देते हुए उनका जीवन में एक उमंग उत्सव भी हो, और जीवन क्या होता है तो वो सभी अनुभव करे। तो ये हम सबका आशा है। आप जरूर इस अर्जी को मर्जी कर देंगे, ये मेरा दिल से विश्वास है। तो इसलिए हम सब जोरदार से ताली बजा के इन एडवांस आपको वेलकम करते हैं। इन एडवांस आपको वेलकम कर रही हूँ गुलदस्ता से।
Shukriya Didi. Thank you so much. Shukriya.
आज बहुत हम सब आपने जो बातें सुनाया तो हम सब प्रैक्टिकल में वो जीवन में अनुभव करते। तो यही आपका स्नेह का हम सब रिटर्न देंगे, ये हमारा एक दृढ़ संकल्प है। और आप आने तक और सब भाई बहने बहुत हुमन उत्सव से अनेक प्रोग्राम बना देंगे। तो ये हमारा दिल की एक आशा है। अब अपना भानु भाई थैंक्स देंगे। कल से जैसे आपने कहा शिविर जो नजदीक है, लेकिन ऑनलाइन में ही हम लोग 7 days कोर्स राजयोट शिविर ये सब कर रहे हैं। तो ये है हमारा विचार।
Bhanubhai, some are still messaging that they are not able to probably see where the link is and copy it. So if we could just send it to them also on the registration.
Sure. To everyone, this Zoom ID and passcode should work, but at the time of your registration, you must have given us your email ID and phone number. So you will also receive an SMS and email with the same details. So you should have all of those details.
Yeah, that's what. So, again, there are two messages. Can someone share the Zoom ID? I think they're not able to copy it.
Yeah.
Can you read it out for somebody to just note it down for them?
Yeah, sure. The Zoom ID is...
We can just write it down right away.
I have been pasting it on chat, maybe, but I should do it again.
Everyone is not comfortable with.
Yeah. So should I put it on the screen?
Yeah, that will be very good.
Okay, I can put this on the screen. Maybe that will help.
Someone's written, we've not registered. Can we still get access? Everybody can. It's everybody. It's for everyone. Bhanubai is sharing it on the screen. I'll just read it out in the meantime. The Zoom ID is 51. Write it down. 5145975829. Repeating. 5145975829, and the password is peace, and here it is on the screen. So we can just pick up the phone and take a picture. Just take a picture of the screen.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Shukriya.
Just quickly, I should also like to convey thanks to Sister Shivani. But I think Sarojini Didi made a very interesting point and a very important point. How do we return this time and love that Sister Shivani has given to all of us in this session? One of the ways in which we could return this is to inculcate, is to imbibe what Sister Shivani has told us in our practical lives, right? So I think that would be the biggest return that we can give her. And Sarojini Didi said, by the time you come here in person, we will all be ready, right? So that is at homework for all of us, that we take back all the teachings, all the lessons that we have learned today, and we imbibe it in our lives, right? And here is Srinivas Rajubhai is also here to share a few words, please.
Sister Shivani, I missed out an opportunity of officially welcoming you. I was late by a few minutes to come here. I'm sure we are all waiting, as Sister said. Pratiksha se saath uska pratiksha hai hamara. You have to come and launch our program, Clean the Mind, Green the Earth. And that has got a new relevance today, especially when we are connecting ourselves for Swarnima, that upcoming program. And I think everything is ready now for the launch with the great youngsters like you all coming together. And we are going to indeed make it happen. One realization we have understood now is what can become actual is possible only by being spiritual. I'm sure you agree on that. And we would like you to come and launch this program to not only light a new light to it, but then also to see that we take it all over. And it would be our privilege to have you to do that, for we recognize you as a true beacon of light. We are keenly awaiting to receive you, and I'm sure we will be overcoming all these restrictions soon. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Srinivas Rajubhai, for those words. I would also like to tell that like a true coach, Sister Shivani has also given us a lot of questions for us to reflect upon. I think the best coaches are those who ask questions and make us find our own answers. I think that is something that we are really thankful for. I wrote down 3 questions that I think are really useful for all of you to remember. I think, of course, there is an entire YouTube video that you can also watch. Is there any other way for us to respond in a given situation? I think it's a useful checking for all of us to do. Who decides the size of the crisis? And is this a problem? Is it a challenge, or is it a large crisis? Check anything that I'm feeling right now. Is this because of my thoughts towards someone else? What is my emotional diet like? What do I watch, read, and listen? Because content becomes personality, and personality becomes destiny. So those are the thoughts that Sister Shivani has shared. Of course, much more, but I think questions always make us work on it internally for ourselves, and that content becomes our own. And so we are very fortunate for getting those questions that we can work on for ourselves. And then also encourage all of you to go back and revise on the YouTube link that all of you have. So Sister Shivani, wonderful session. You must have seen the emotional responses in the chats on the screen. Several of them connected to this session because they all have had a personal story and experience. So this has been a great value addition to all of us. I have one request. Today, we also have an opportunity to celebrate the voice of India, Lata Didi, who left us today. So if we could spend 1 minute in silence as we leave the meeting, it would be a great honor and tribute for Lata Didi, who has sung songs to solve our problems and troubles and is a voice for the country. So thank you all very much for joining us today. We'll join for 1 minute of silence in respect of Lata Didi. Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you all for your time and silence. Thank you. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.